Queen Kiki.
Yes,
We
ma'am.
digress for a little bit, but Miss Maggie Brown, you still here? Where's she at?
She in the
Yeah, I
building.
am. Yeah, yeah. I was
Hey,
actually dealing with this other thing I got in the email, but yeah, I'm
hey,
here.
Maggie. All right, so are we gonna like have um like what we gonna do? You got any idea?
Oh, well, the thing that I said on the text was how it would make sense. It would make sense because the things that we deal with, especially with the Nancy Green project, have to do with Black history. To make sure that we could do something at Kwanzaa time, present something somehow, or something in February. But I'm used to I'm used to, I guess, operating in a different way. I've never had like big management and agents and all that old kind of stuff, right? I haven't. That hasn't been how I've rock and rolled,
Right.
and so I realized that I have an approach with the music, with the expression and articulation of this art that's different from commercial, you know.
Okay.
So I probably have a lot to learn. But I've been out here doing shows that relate to our history and our legacies. And so I'm sure I'll be doing some of those at Kwanzaa time and February time too. So, maybe there's a way for us to do something too, as long as people don't step on each other's, I guess, disclosures and so forth. Then, yeah.
So it
Well,
sounds like you guys need to just basically sit down and have a meeting to make a calendar of what of the plans. You
that
know,
that sounds pretty good, Kiki. Like Mondays, because
yeah.
it seems like Mondays were more like check-in, see where everybody was at.
And
Wednesdays
emails,
are
emails is
yeah.
good. Someone should just immediately start a tree. And basically you, Maggie, because it's gonna be your you dig, So you start a tree with everyone and email everyone can email some ideas and just start there. That'll inspire you to, hey, it's spinning. This here
Hmm.
can be done, as I mentioned. But I'm a visual person. So if I don't see something, I don't correlate it.
Hmm.
Doesn't gel. So if you start at that tree, and that can be our first assignment, everyone who's on here, just shoot Maggie some ideas on what they, from their professionalism and their background, can contribute or make an idea of an event that she can put together. And maybe you've done an event similar to it and you can give her some details, some specs on what would be needed, what's required. So that's what and just like we did tonight, we can do skits in these live tape Zoom meetings. Come make a presentation of music and whatever, just to, you know, keep it going. But I know Rob wants to contribute a movie night, virtual movie nights and things of that nature. We can put up certain content that you all may want to feature. It can be some historical biography or just a movie for fun, whatever. But you can offer that to get people inside of the space safely, of course, due to the COVID spacing and masking requirements and providing the, hand sanitizers and things of that nature. So I think that would be great. And what I can contribute, you can pick whatever day of the week and we can hook that up to do and provide free movie nights. Yep.
We actually have a black film movie series that's starting this Saturday. When I was talking about the different grant proposals that we're trying to fulfill so we don't have to give them this money back, I'm a part of the board of an organization called Southside Projections. And so we have access to film from major companies, and we license them for little or no money to show them basically for free to audiences. So that's what
Hmm.
Southside Projections, that's what their goal is as a non-for-profit, that they want things to either be very affordable or free. And
Exactly.
in the last 6, 7 years, I would say that they've not had an event that was revenue generation. It was basically fulfilling the deliverables of the grant. And so we'll be showing films from sources that we have access to as a non-for-profit. And I can send a link to where we get movies for reasonable cost to for the permissions and stuff.
Right.
So that's one organization that's coming in to activate the space. The second is that, with us having an archive, we're pretty much waiting for the library schools in and around Chicago to send us interns that would help process the materials that are unprocessed. So people will give things to the organization. They might give it to me in a plastic Aldi bag. It might be in a paper bag. It might be in anything that you would imagine that this thing wasn't valuable. And by the time I unfurl it, I'll realize, oh, this is a rare document, or it's a rare letter or something. So
Okay.
I've got probably upwards of about 7 years of work that is not even touched yet.
Right.
And these would have been the things that were in the storage units and stuff like that that hadn't been touched. So the library work is at
Oh,
least
that's good.
moving forward in terms of getting the staffing for that. The space itself, because it's in a commercial zone,
Mhm.
I'm just now exploring, what the differences it will cost in insurance, because I moved out of Illinois Institute of Technology. They mostly absorb the higher expenses for insurance because I use their theaters. So I was under their umbrella. I use their classrooms and I use their outdoor spaces. But now the space that we're in, we would have to absorb the cost for everything from, being able to serve food or drinks, and then ultimately maybe being able to have cocktails. But the licensing in Chicago is very political. So non-for-profits can only sell things with a lot of restrictions in place. So we're still navigating how can we offer opportunity for someone to have a one event or a series of events like spoken word or book signings or whatever. We're still navigating what that looks like so far as the licensing.
Right.
And then making the adjustments of the insurance from one building to another. So it'll likely be 5-6 weeks or so before we find out, like, hey, guess what, we can have things here in the evening from 7 to 12, based off of the kind of license that we have for recreation and entertainment. And when that does happen, I certainly will provide a calendar and say, here are some dates that folks can have, access to present or do book signings or anything.
Right. It sounds good then to me, but those were my contributions on where it needs to start.
Yeah, I've dropped a few things in the comment section, Maggie and Sherry. Just
Okay.
some just mauling some ideas around, not set in stone, but from my perspective, based on all forms of art in the publishing field.
Oh,
Some of the
nice.
things that are missing from the entertainment perspective. Because Nancy Green and Edith Wilson and all them and stuff were blues artists, jazz artists. I mean, Bronzeville always been the bomb. I used to hear my mom, talk about it all the time. She was a Peace Stone on the South Side. Anybody know Angela Davis from Inglewood? That'll probably be her.
Rest in peace, rest in power,
Rest in peace.
Davis. Ah, well.
So my mom always discussed, what was important. She wasn't all into the organizational stuff, the politics and all
Right.
that. It was a lot like all of you mothers and grandmothers and all of our ancestors that just believe that positivity in your neighborhoods, still conduct, still keep up with children and stuff, like feeding, new knowledge, how to handle their behavior, how to handle their emotions. Everything is so, it's not balanced, the emotions and feelings in the air and all that. How to conduct themselves as a regular, just peaceful little citizen that goes about and make big money. Staying planted in your communities and your neighborhoods, no matter where you're at. Make them feel a part. Make them feel that they are a family within the community of Bronzeville and all of the Chicagoland areas. I've been real fortunate to live on all sides of the town.
Right.
And one thing that I noticed is that with peace comes diversity. It comes to the understanding of all different races, colors, creeds, and religions. It has to be respectful, but we don't have to allow that what they call the Hays Code, profanity and perversion and all these other things that keep people teeter-tottering back and forth. They don't, it's like they're walking forward one minute and walking back at the same time. Now they're in a neutral position. So it's reprobated. We're running around with a lot of reprobated minds.
Right. And that's time for reprogramming.
It's time for reprogramming. We got to be able to do that. And that's what I feel from our ancestors of calling everybody together, because we're on the brink of destruction of humanity. We're destroying our own selves by our own devices, like Carla was saying, like Nikki was saying over there, about our own devices, our own non-accountability, selfishness, all those things that are in vanity.
Right.
There's no honor. There's no sincerity. You know what I'm saying? And everybody's playing the card on politics and this and that and not paying attention. This is about humanitarian effort.
Come on. Yep.
Okay. We can't even put aside, because if we can't be positive and heal the earth, there's nothing that we can do. Earth is hurting. Mother Earth is hurting. The universe is hurting, because all of this is going out into this atmosphere, and we're not really teaching from people's real perspectives, such as tonight. They're having the witness and testimony that this universe, our God, provides, period. And people need to be able to understand that, because they're not even gravitating towards their spirituality. How can you possibly come together and stay connected with your family and your past ancestors, and even in the present, if you're already morally corrupted?
Right.
So it's too much corruption going on in all different areas. I mean, we're dealing with cities within the United States have basically turned into Sodom and Gomorrahs. Okay. So in that perspective, there definitely, I feel, there should be summits and seminars coming from Bronzeville Historic Society of all of these beautiful people that are already there. There's so much talent.
And it's also a way to tap into what Carla was saying with the youth, and it's a way to curb and also pivot to make presentations for the at-risk population, meaning families and children, because see, a lot of at-risk are at risk because they don't have a space for things that will draw them in. So just say if you got the ancient mama coming going on, but then you got this at-risk population, don't know nothing about ancient mama, the history, the whatever, they're prone not to come in there. But if you had a viewing of Boys in the Hood on the night, now you getting ready to draw that at-risk population in, and after viewing Boys in the Hood, you turn on the other part with the knowledge on the Nancy Green and the history. So what I'm would love to see is a merge of
She froze up. Hold on. Kiki?
We can't hear you.
She muted. Nope. Can't hear you.
The Bluetooth.
Unmute.
He must have froze.
No, she not froze. There she goes.
Oh.
She coming
Okay.
back.
Okay. So what I was saying when I left off was that that's a way to draw them in with what they're familiar with and then feed them the knowledge on the back end on where the new direction is, what we're trying to do. Cause I was one of those, gang members as well, a mother gang member in Chicago growing up with the Gangster Disciples, and it was a part of my life, but at the same time it shaped me to know the difference and what that can give me and what life could give me on a positive aspect, and turning that around. So I always had a soft spot for that at-risk population because I know many killers, but to know them differently from what the street know them as, these people that they call killers, I knew as, my friends, my cousins, my brothers, my sisters, and things of that nature. So it wasn't this monsterized vision of I was a gang member walking down the street with guns and all that. Nah, it was
Yeah.
about, as she said, securing our area,
Yeah.
making sure we're good, and mainly making money when we was unemployed. We did whatever we had to do to make ends meet and make it happen. So, definitely a program to bring in that at-risk population and reprogram their minds is something I would love to see Bronzeville society do with that space, instead of look at the pants hanging low and or he this and he that reputation of those and keep them out. Like, we don't want them in here. No, you do want them in there, because we might have to ride down. You talking about folks trying to come collect from you, Sherry. We might have
Yeah.
to call upon some of our soldiers to ride down on whoever it is and let
Yeah.
them know, ain't a dollar coming from here. That's going in, not coming out. You feel me? So it's a way to protect that space too from a lot of BS, knowing, the guys that's out in the area that other people fear. They got a lot of respect and love for the arts.
I have to say, Kiki,
So be it.
I want to share some what you just said. Now, I'm a Chicagoan, been in Chicago all the majority of my life, and I'm in the heart of the ghetto. So what you're saying, it makes a lot of sense and really touched me in different levels. And we need to do that. Us who've been in the heart of the ghetto from the projects. I've been from the east, the west side, north side, south side of Chicago. So I've been all over. I grew up with Buddy Guy kids, and so the list goes on and on. I've been around some gang bangers, very heavy out there in the streets. And people look at me like, Batiste. Yeah, I'm in Chicago. So I wasn't in the suburb. I wasn't born with a silver spoon in my mouth. I'm not gonna act like.
Right.
So we didn't understand their language. We know how to connect with them.
Right.
We need to step our game up. That's what I want to say.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Most definitely. That's what I mean.
We know their language. There's no other, we know the street language, the slang, we know all that. We need to step our game up.
Yeah.
We got out for a reason to bring others in.
Right.
I wasn't in no gang, but I had cousins, I had relatives that had friends in the gang. I even had ex-boyfriends that was involved with all that.
Right.
So we know their language. We need to step our game up. It doesn't take a rocket science to see that.
No.
It doesn't take a rocket science. Use what you have. We all are resourceful. Whatever your resource is, that is your weapon. That is your tool. That is your opportunity to invite them in.
Right.
I talk to them every day. They come to my porch. I'm young, but they consider me as mama. So when they say, "Hey, Mama Petite, can I talk to you for a minute?" and they drink in their hand or smoking they blunt, they need somebody that knows that they can connect to, and they come and talk to me. I'll just be getting off of work or whatever, but they see me. "Hey, can I talk to you for a minute?" And then we'll sit there and we have our talk. And
Right.
after that, they like, "Hey, I'm glad I'm talking to you because I can release what's going on with me. I feel like, I know God and all that. I want prayer, pray for me." These things, it's a connection that is there.
Right.
So we
Yeah.
come up with ideas, try it out. That don't work, try the next idea out. That
Right.
don't work,
Well,
but keep trying. You don't give up. So I
Exactly.
well,
mean,
that
I'm hoping that what
that's
I'm
why this is
saying,
called taps, because we all are very prophetic
yeah,
on here. We got that young blood in us. We got the graphic girl that's relevant, that's hot. You got Kiki, you got Carla, all you guys. You know what I'm saying? We all hot, and we come up with. We're constantly creating. You know, keeping up with what's
right,
happening right now, because the school of what was going on then, this is the church of what's happening now. This is the real
right,
Gotta Eat Productions. People are out here dying. This pandemic is a plan, and it already had been planned when we were born into this world.
Okay.
So the struggle don't never stop, and we got to be able to put that back, because there's been too many false schools, uh non thirstful, feeling soulful evangelism out there. You got people not even wanting to be involved with their parents anymore, because they're saying that they're not even relevant. They feel that our generation don't even talk to the generation after us, in their 30s and their 40s. So we got to be able to bridge that gap. Kiki, you were
yeah,
talking about bridging that gap of hope. Carly, you were talking about the same thing. We got to come with the real. We got to come hard. And I know through all these years of my travels, and I've had some hellified travels, you all. Okay, enough to tell you all that I'm very passionate about this. We have got to do better.
yes,
She is so right. We have got to step our game up. You know, I mean, it's ridiculous. Even the education system has failed. People
mhm,
don't even know how to critically think anymore. They don't know how to just have a situation, stop and just think, instead of pushing a gun, instead of
yeah,
shooting one another, running over each other, killing your parents. They doing everything in the book.
Yep.
That's not right.
it ain't.
And then we're dealing with a serious population of young people our ages, their parents who are locked up in jail. They're incarcerated. So they can't even tell their children what to do. They're not listening to their parents. They could give doodly swats when they're going in and out of jail. And jail is just not that I'm talking about incarceration. I'm talking about in their head. Too many people have
Yeah,
impoverished minds and don't even realize that we come from the greatest.
Hmm. And to add on to that, as we hear today, that's the whole purpose and goal with everybody on this line,
Yes.
to come together. Like I mentioned to us, this isn't the first and it won't be the last. But if you
Yeah.
don't return, it's
We're
only
okay
because
with that.
exactly
I
we
will be
just
sending termination letters out. I
okay.
don't, Taps does not mind. This is
Yes,
my shit.
yes,
I love it.
okay,
We're business admin. We don't have
yes,
no problems with that. Trust me. If
okay.
not, I will have a veteran to come visit you and you don't know who they are.
Don't give out all our secrets, Chanel, over there.
know, I
But I
know.
love all of you all. I promise you, from the bottom of my heart, I really appreciated you all coming in, us having this discussion. I look forward to doing this again. If we don't do it but once a month, let's plan
No,
on. I,
no, we
oh,
got planning to do.
well, y'all heard the sergeant. See, when the
Yeah, that's
sergeant
the
speak,
sergeant.
when the governor speak, I just go along with it. Excuse me, y'all.
What
We
branch of
will be
service,
doing this.
ma'am? What
We
branch of
United-
service, ma'am?
United States Air Force. We aim high. I'm
Yeah,
fourth
that's what
generation.
that's what I
I'm
was
fourth
about to say. This,
generation
you know,
Tuskegee
she was
Airman.
about to just come down on us in flight. That's why I said, what branch
Yeah.
of service, ma'am?
Okay. And
We
wait a
dropped them
minute.
bombs,
She was
baby.
over there in Iraq
She
breaching
dropping 'em.
doors. So she ain't playing about that door stuff, y'all. I
She
ain't
was
just
dropping
I
'em.
know.
breaching doors,
Come on,
okay?
Shania.
Breaching. Talking about y'all up in here. I'm like, Shania, come home. Leave them Afghans alone. The folks just trying to have dinner and shit. You got your boot all up in there, you know. But y'all, I love you all, and I'm so glad that we came together. This is true Black woman queen magic going on tonight. And I'm really getting ready to wrap up on this other side.
Oh, your other job? Yeah.
Yeah,
Your other job?
yeah,
We got like 500
yeah.
Oh, you-
jobs.
Right. I'm a headline.
Still,
She
as
have
I say, still on the
$15,000.
phone.
What
All
you
right,
want to say,
so-
Nikki?
I love y'all. Good to be
I ain't
here.
say nothing. I'm just chilling.
Nikki had her
Well-
medication, y'all. She put her glasses on.
Well, hey,
No,
Kiki over
I
there, bro.
can't see. These are my seeing eyeglasses. I can't see.
Okay, see, Lady Patrice, we ain't seen you all night. You like the man from the Gong Show with the bag on his head up in the zoo.
Go on and show it. It don't matter. Go on and show it.
we need a new one of those for real from the hood Gong Show. Okay, Raw Magazine and TV taps. I think we will have reoccurring meetings on Wednesdays, same time. If people can check in, that's fine. If not, you'll get an update on Monday nights at 7 p.m. So reoccurring meetings on
On
Wednesdays. at
Saturday
8
though, for
p.m.
the raw media and the taps thing, because I work during the week, y'all.
That's what
Yeah,
I
But
was
I figured
So
like
we're
go
pretty
on get
much
them
all
people money.
available Monday, Wednesdays, and Saturdays. And the next meeting, I definitely like to bring on Tony Jordan. He's from Chicago, and he has a consultation marketing company, and he is also on Roku streaming. He helps to get sponsors, advertisers. He does brand ambassador. Damn it.
Uh-oh. I think it was Ebony and Ivory or Herbs and Peaches.
Okay.
They done
Okay.
attack Herbs and Peaches, Ebony and Ivory done attack Shania. She's under attack.
We so wrong. We so wrong.
Okay, she under
Ladies,
attack.
I'm gonna take this other call.
Okay,
God bless
love you,
everybody. Have a good
Maggie.
night.
Yes,
See y'all Monday.
we're
All
gonna
right.
wrap it up.
All right.
Yeah,
Okay.
'cause I gotta get off of here too. I got some work to do too.
I love y'all.
Yeah.
It's been good, ladies and gentlemen.
Yep, it's been
Absolutely.
good. Have
Make
a
sure y'all
great,
look out
wonderful
for the
evening.
email I'm sending of the show from the
Okay.
segment, okay?
Okie dokie.
Okay. Peace
you.
out.
Good
All
night,
right.
everyone.
Thank
Good
you.
night.
Bye bye.
Good night.
Sick and tired of being sick and tired. Who want to go first?
Raw Multimedia, I'm so sick and tired of being sick and tired.
I'm sick and tired of being sick and tired.
I'm sick and tired and very sick and tired of this coronavirus. I wish it would go away.
And I am sick and tired of being sick and tired.
I'm sick and tired of these young girls and they $40 ventures. And they still was doing it during COVID. I'ma tell you, COVID didn't have nothing on them having them COVID babies. And that's